Well, we had a cool start this morning after a very windy weekend. Jeremy Brilliant was out there showing us some of the damage. It almost looks like we had storms, but it was just wind.
It was just wind. And you know, winds at this time of year, Naomi, especially with some of this old growth trees, you know, they're real old and they're dry. Yeah, they're dry all winter. They have a tendency to fall. And boy, speaking of falling, our temperatures, when Naomi and I were on this morning at 4 a.m. at sunrise, it was 59 degrees. It has dropped 19 degrees, but I'm going to show you something very weird in just a moment. In fact, this bizarre pattern is happening now with the front moving through the state, where we have the 60s to the south and the 30s to the north. No kidding. In fact, I wouldn't believe it myself unless I were to see this. This is just a very, very rare thing that we're experiencing right now. Remember, this is a cold front. It's now entering Columbus, Greensburg, Bloomington. So downtown Seymour, at the home of the Owls, I'm sure the kids there at the high school, they short sleeve shirts. Why not? 65 degrees. But look at this. Winter coat weather in Crawfordsville at 35. That is a 30-degree difference in just a few miles. And that's, of course, due to this front, which is rumbling right through the state. Now, we have a lot going on. We're welcoming Tufts and Thomas More University and Lubbock Christian and the University of Alaska at Anchorage for the NCAA Women's Championships. First game for Division II and III starts at 3. At that time, still right around 40, but we'll slowly see those temps drop as we move into the evening. And speaking of the evening, if you've got the tulips coming up like I do at my house, or the crocuses, you might consider covering them. Remember, don't cover them with plastic. Cover them with cloth, like a sheet. And the reason for that, we have this freeze warning. It'll go into effect at about 2 in the morning, stay till about 9, and this is for the entire metro area, about as far north as Tipton, Alexandria, Muncie, and then everything south of that. In fact, this covers a good 4 states. Now, the winds are going to peak at about where they are right now, about 23 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, really not much of a wind, but we have another system that will be moving in here on Wednesday, and when it does, it's going to bring rain and very strong gusty winds. Winds probably 30 to 40, maybe even in some cases 45 miles per hour on Wednesday as this clipper just comes right on through. And speaking of rain, we had a little bit this morning, a few sprinkles. Again, I think Wednesday on into Thursday we'll see some rain. We're looking at about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Now let's show you how the afternoon plays out. Again, we have sun out there right now and we'll see some. I would not be surprised if some of you saw another stray flurry or sprinkle. It's nothing really that's going to stick. It'll just blow or get caught up in this northerly breeze. Tonight, though, clear, and it gets real cold. By the time the morning rush hour starts tomorrow, we'll be at only 25 degrees. And then here we go on Wednesday. Early in the morning, a stray shower. Again, this is not snow. This is rain coming in on Wednesday. At the noon hour, widespread showers. These will be around during the day, probably hanging on to at least part of the day on Thursday. So at the lunch hour, let's serve up the forecast. Our temperatures just slowly falling or holding steady during the course of the day today. A clear and really cold night tonight, 25. That means we have a freeze warning. And then tomorrow, 52 degrees, a chance for some rain both Wednesday and Thursday, 58 Wednesday, 50 Thursday. And Naomi, it really gets cool going into the weekend for the opening of the Indy 11 season at home, and I'll have more on that in a few minutes.
All right, Chuck.